All right, Shalom Akim, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem, B'Kakodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you, fellow Akim out there pushing on his word in truth and sincerity. Okay, this is your brother Kanat. And once again, I want to come to you, brothers, and do another edifying video. As always, I pray that this video is edifying to the body. That you can find some type of comfort and rest in the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. And basically, this is going to be a continuation of a video that I did earlier today in transit, in which I didn't have too much time. I had to go to slavery. But, I just want to keep it going, have some more precepts. And it kind of, it all adds up because there's another video that I wanted to do, but this kind of ties into it. As you can see on your screen, this was from RT, a couple of days ago. Was a Kaiser report, which I usually check out the Kaiser reports when I have a chance to do that. There's a lot of good information. As always, here at Great Millstone, we pick the off of the bones, and we get the good parts. Of anything, because the scriptures say that a spiritual man judgeth all things. So basically, I want to get into how. Like the previous lesson, I spoke about how the whole system of America is corrupt, because you have a corrupt people ruling, in the planet Earth, and that's why there's so much chaos in the world today. And basically, I want to get into predatory lending, and which proves that you so-called blacks and Hispanics, can never succeed in this society, because there's traps and snares set up for you, unbeknownst to you and your family, that's keeping your nation down. This is all set up and devised by the so-called white man, the devil, the Edomites of the Bible. Now I'm gonna play a little bit of this video, and you can see in this video, and we're gonna get some of these different articles and different websites, just to basically do some to show you, bring out some proofs, certain these key words and key names. So you get a little bit more understanding, and you'll see that Jake is a pivotal part of keeping Israelites down. All right, you always had sellout Israelites. So without further ado, let me play a little bit of this video. Lord's will, you brothers can hear the video. Everything's fine. If not, go ahead and go on YouTube and just watch part of the clip. Here we go.
Continue to predatory lend to America. I don't know if we'll ever pay them back, but I want to look at this headline because Deval Patrick has dropped out of the running. He was in the running to be the nominee for, the Democrats. He was going to run to be the Democratic nominee for 2020, and Obama was pushing him. So I want to look at the story of
to all you so-called Negroes that love Obama, this is one of the guys that Obama pushed, and we'll go into him.
Just what, the likes of Obama, what they think is acceptable in this day and age for a candidate. Deval Patrick, foreclosure mogul. How the 2020 Democratic presidential contender helped a Republican billionaire rip off the middle class. Basically, they talk about the fact that Deval Patrick, who, was governor for Massachusetts for a while and beloved there, despite his entire record, he had helped Roland Arnell, who had at one point been under investigation when he ran Long Beach Mortgage Company for basically predatory practices towards African-American population. And then he went on to found, after that, a company called AmeriQuest. So AmeriQuest was one of the biggest subprime mortgage lenders. They basically ran an entire predatory operation of driving a lot of middle class, especially African Americans, into bankruptcy, into foreclosure, losing their homes. And this guy, Deval Patrick, who is a Democrat, friend of Obama, very good friend of Obama, he also went to Harvard Law. Here's a guy who's a predatory lender, and Obama wanted him to be the candidate for the Democrats for 2020.
Well, that makes sense. The Democrats are always about making sure people have a home and getting them into debt, and then to kill that debt and kill their home.
So basically, let's look at this guy, Deval Patrick, Slovakia. Deval Patrick, if you zoom in here, this is a so-called, he's a Jake, Israelite. He's a 71st governor of Massachusetts. Okay, and he's one of the one of the main guys that helped this guy Roland pretty much, you know, this subprime mortgage scandal, especially in 2018 when 2008 when one of the largest transfers of wealth or black wealth was lost. More black wealth was lost during 2008 housing crisis than Reconstruction. And to the untrained eye, the naked eye, it will seem like this is a coincidence. But this was actually all planned by the so-called white man, okay, in his corrupt system. Okay, it's fractional reserve banking, and he's able to maneuver through his system because he has, you know, he has what's it called? He has certain benefits, or I should say he has certain privilege. There you go, a better word to use. He has certain privileges that you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't have. Okay, so let's read a little bit of this guy, Duval Lord Dean Patrick, which was, I got a little goody here when we look at this word Duval, okay? The Duval Lord Dean Patrick is an American politician, civil rights lawyer, author, businessman who served as the 71st governor of Massachusetts from 2007 to 2015. He was elected in 2006, succeeding Mitt Romney, who chose not to run for re-election. He was re-elected in 2010 and is the only African-American to date to have served as governor of Massachusetts. A Democrat, Patrick previously served from 1994 to 1997 a United States Assistant Attorney General in the Civil Rights Division under President Bill Clinton. Born and raised by a single mother on the south side of Chicago, so he grew up in the hood. Patrick earned a scholarship to Milton Academy in Massachusetts. In the 8th grade, he went to attend Harvard College and Harvard Law School, where he was president of the Harvard Legal Aid Bureau. After graduating, he practiced law with NCAACP, Legal Defense and Educational Fund, and later joined the Boston Law Firm, which, you know, we don't have to go more on that, but this gives you a little background on this guy, which this video is not necessarily about him, but it shows you that Jake, okay, he went to Harvard, a so-called, you know, a top elitist school, Ivy League school, and he was indoctrinated. And he was indoctrinated to come against you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, okay, Native American, primarily you so-called Blacks, okay? He's pretty much a figurehead. Not knowing that this guy, the guy that you vote for, oh, he's Black. Oh, we need to get him in office. We need to give him as the governor. We need to do this. We need to support him. He's scamming you the whole time. He was part of this big predatory lending. Now let's look at this guy's Duval, and I did this just for shits and giggles, you know. The spirit had me just click on his name and then search the Edamon online, okay? And what do you know? When we go to Edamon, the word Duval basically is another way of saying devil, okay? Different spelling, okay? So here you go. Jake's a devil. Jake is a deceiver, okay? And what is that? When you say Jake like this in this capacity, what do you think of? You think of the scriptures. This is Jeremiah 5:26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that set up snares. So he was part of transferring you so-called Negroes' wealth to the so-called white men, to the elite. And this is all part of keeping you down. This is the crazy thing about it. You don't even know this. You just think, oh, I didn't work hard enough, or my credit score is not as good as it's supposed to be. Not knowing that you have outside forces, outside entities working against you, that's working in private. Not only the so-called white man is coming against you, but your own people is coming against you. That's why the scriptures say, for among my people are found wicked men. Which when you go into, you know what? Let's just go into it. Let's finish this. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that set up snares, and a predatory lending. Okay, which we'll get into what predatory lending is. Okay, if you don't know what predatory lending is, they set a trap, they catch men. So Jake, okay, through the hand of the devil, through the help of the devil, okay, through gifts from the devil they'll sell out their own people. And you see that throughout history, and you see that now. Okay, you have Jake that will do crimes with other Jake, and they'll tell the police, okay, for protection, for getting out of a crime, getting out of doing the time. Okay, or since the so-called white man chooses them to be the token, all right, they'll do any and everything that the so-called white man tells them to do. Okay, this is John 8:44. It says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. So the lust of the so-called white man, a lot of blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, they will willfully, okay, sell out their own people. They will willfully see the prosperity of the wicked, okay, enjoying hand in hand with the wicked, because they get a better position in society. They have more of a social status. They're more accepted by the so-called white man, and they believe that the so-called white man is their father, and not only their father, but their what? Their God. So they'll do any and everything. They'll do anything that it takes to be in those positions. And this guy right here, which I'm gonna call him Devil Patrick. Okay, that's what his name means when you look it up. Okay, Devil Patrick, he helped the so-called white man, okay, prey on you so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, especially when it comes to these subprime mortgages. Okay, the 2008 bubble, housing bubble, where a lot of wealth from so-called black, Hispanic, well, I'll say mostly blacks, okay, were targeted, okay, and foreclosed on. You lost your nest egg. And I know families that have lost homes because of that. Okay, and this is all set up. You have to understand that this is all a plan, an intricate plan of the so-called white man. That's why the whole system of America is corrupt. You can't build anything in this system, in this society, because not only is the devil against you, but your own people are against you, plotting, okay, telling the so-called white man there they are, you know. And you have this throughout all society. Jake selling out to the devil, okay, instead of being in solidarity with their people, okay, and suffering with their people. It tells you that in what the book of Romans, about how Moses, rather to enjoy sin for a season, he rather suffer with the children of Israel. And that's one thing our people don't want to do. They don't want to suffer. Okay, we have to realize that this is a punishment. Okay, we're here in Babylon as punishment. Okay, so as you see, the guy's name is really devil, okay, which means the deceiver, and he deceived a lot of you Israelites. Okay, so we read Jeremiah 5, proving to you that there are wicked people amongst our people, okay, that will sell out our people. Okay, let's bring out one more scripture about that, and then we'll jump into the definition of, you know, subprime lending, you know, predatory lending, you know, so you get a little bit more understanding of these terms, and how Esau is the devil even in his terminology, which Jake doesn't look up anything. Okay, give me 1 second. All right, so we're in the book of Maccabees. Okay. And this is when, you know, the so-called white man, he came into power under Alexander the Great. We should all know this history. If not, you got to look this history up, and you can read, you know, certain books like the book of Maccabees they'll tell you about the history, you know. So this is when Alexander the Great, or Alexander the Great, the so-called great, as you know, the so-called white man calls him after his death, you know, his generals, you know, which this is a well-known history. His generals, you know, took instead of his place, you know, and put crowns upon their heads. So let's go and see what Jake, the spirit of Jake. Let's see the spirit of the 2/3. Okay, the spirit of the 2/3 is to stay here in society. Okay, give me a second while I find this. Yep, this is it. It says, let's go Maccabees 1 And I'll start at 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. See? So when the so-called white man came into power, which he likes to say, okay, civilization started with the Greeks. Okay, and this is the Greek Empire. Okay, this is the starting of the Greek Empire. Really, the multiplication of wickedness or evils started with the Greeks. And there came out them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus, the king, who had been a hostage at Rome and reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So this guy was a wicked man. Okay, but let's see the mind frame of Jake when it comes to wickedness. In those days went out there, Salaki. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men. So within Israel, you have wicked men, and you see that drug dealers, okay, stick up kids, okay, those who just prey on our people, you know, those who are confederate with the so-called white man to kill our people, to put our people in jails, to put them in snares and traps. Okay, they work in a pharmacological they work in a pharmacological region. Okay, they work in military. Okay, they work in the school system, and they know what the so-called white man is doing. But since they're taking that gift, you know, those goodies, that money, all right, they'll turn a blind eye because they're wicked. They're wicked men who persuaded many, saying, "Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we had so much sorrow. We have had much sorrow." So this device pleased them well. So Jake is totally okay with, joining hand in hand with the wicked. All right, the scriptures say that ye are of your father the devil, and it's really, when you think about it, it's inconceivable or it's unimaginable the amount of shit that the so-called white man, excuse my language, you know, just came out. The amount of stuff that the so-called white man has done to our people, and you still have our people that would turn a blind eye or say, you know, the white man has changed, or they'll help the so-called white man put more hell on our people. And this is what this dude Devil Patrick or Deval Patrick has done. Okay, because the spirit is get on this guy, and the Most High going to destroy him and guys like this, because you have a large part of our nation that come in that same spirit. Okay, that same spirit of seeing Jake down. Okay, and that same spirit of, oh, I got to get mine. Okay, F him. Okay, I got to get mine. And they know where the money is at. They know that the so-called white man has the money, in particular, the so-called Jew. Okay, and he has so-called Jewish ties. Okay, when you read in his bio, his damn devil. So let's go to predatory lending. Okay, here's an article on the ACLU, which there's many, you know, articles out there on predatory lending. And this is a lending practice that's being practiced right now. That's why you so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans are in such a low state now. And you're trying to climb your way out of fucking Salakia. You try to climb your way out of so-called financial disparity, but there's a whole system set up to keep you down. There's no possible way that you can make it, okay, to the 1%, or you can make it comfortably. Okay, how the hell are you going to have millions upon millions of dollars in your account? What are you going to do? Are you going to work? Are you going to get an extra job? Jobs are for slaves. Okay, and no matter what, are the so-called white man, he gets his cut out of your check, out of your labor before you do. Okay, and if he feels that you need to give him more money, he'll come after you. He'll freeze your accounts. All right, he'll stop your he'll put a freeze on your passport. Okay, he'll seize your goods. So how the hell can you make it in this society? How can you have even hope in this society? Here's the article. It says predatory lending, Wall Street profited, minority families paid the price. Okay, it says the editorial page of the New York Times recently weighed in on an important but unappreciated aspect of the financial crisis: the systemic targeting of communities of color for risky and unfair loans. Where's the black communities talking about this? Where's all the other Israelite groups talking about this? Why aren't they marching about this? Why isn't anybody saying anything about this? Okay. The systematic targeting of communities of color. What is that speaking about? All right. In particular, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. This is what's been targeted. Okay. To keep you down, to keep you low. Okay. To keep you on a constant state of I need. All right. Because if you so-called Negroes were set up, you have your own businesses, you have people working for you, or you had a clarity of mind, the so-called white man knows that it's just a moment of time before you take them over. Because everything that we do, okay, it has a flavor to it. Everybody's inclined to our ideas, okay, our different ways that we come at things, you know, our business, you know, because it's the scriptures say that Jacob is the form of all things. Pricing discrimination. Okay, it says illegally charging minority customers more for loans and other services than similarly qualified whites. Similarly qualified whites are charged. Is a long-standing problem. It grew to outrageous proportions during the bubble years, which they're talking about the 2008 housing crisis. Or you had so-called black wealth just disappear. Okay, half of so-called black wealth disappeared. And that was all by design, okay? And you so-called Negroes, you couldn't even put 2 to 2 together. You still have Jake out there still trying to buy homes, okay? I know a couple of them, all right, personally, that still want to buy homes. All right, this, you know, they believe that, you know, the American dream is owning property. You don't even own that property. The actual mortgage means death note. Okay, you have to be in tune with these keywords that the so-called white man has out there. Okay, and it'll tell you really what you're getting into. Okay, this is all smoke and mirrors. You will see without a doubt, okay, that this is a corrupt society. There's no possible way that you can maneuver your way out of the society. There's no possible way that you can fix the society. Okay, coming together, black and brown, you know, whites coming together, holding hands. That's not going to happen. Okay, because the so-called white man, all right, he doesn't want you in his society. He doesn't want you. Okay, well, I'll say this. He doesn't want you above him in his society or even close to him. And that's why there's riots out there in France. That's why there's more of these white nationalist groups popping up, springing up, okay, spewing out their madness, spewing out their hatred for you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Is because you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, okay, are creeping into the middle class, or I would say the so-called white man is falling from the middle class and being more and more on the level of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, okay, in poverty. Studies by consumers advocates found that large numbers of minority borrowers who were eligible for affordable traditional loans were routinely steered towards ruinous priced subprime loans that they would never be able to repay. Okay, so let's look at this word here. Ruinous. Bringing or intending to bring ruin, destruction, disastrous, fallen into ruin, dilapidated. Okay, if I'm saying that correctly. So basically, the so-called white man, when you so-called blacks were able to, you know, get qualified for these regular loans, they stirred you into these subprime loans, okay, that you would never be able to pay, okay? And this is the definition for the word subprime, which basically means subpar. Okay, in finance, subprime lending, also referred to as near prime, subpar, non-prime, and second chance lending, means making loans to people who may have difficulty maintaining the repayment schedule, sometimes reflecting setbacks such as unemployment, divorce, medical emergencies, etc. Historically, subprime borrowers were defined as having FICO scores below 600, although this has varied over time and circumstances. So instead of here, let's go back to the article. Instead of steering you so-called, blacks into traditional loans, which were easier, okay, to pay back, they stirred you into subprime loans with fluctuating interest rates. Okay, so you might go into a house and your payment, your mortgage might be $1,000, but since you have a fluctuating percentage, okay, on that loan, or depending on, it can depend on the market of the which, I'm not going to go deep into it, but this corrupt system, it depends on the stock market, so it can fluctuate. So one month your rent could be 1,000, and then because of the fluctuation of the market, it could jump to 5,000 or 2,000 or 3,000. So there's no possible way that you can pay back that loan. These were ruinous price subprime loans that were targeted in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community to do what? To destroy you. Rampant lending discrimination during the housing bubble exposed Black and Latino communities to the hardest consequences of the economic crisis. The link between race, subprime lending, and devastating rates of foreclosures have been crystal clear for some time. So there's really, it's the writings on the wall. This was all a setup, okay, to destroy the Black, Hispanic, and Native American wealth, okay, property. And then what will happen? You have these different corporations that will come up in there and buy up the property on for the low, okay, and then wait for the prices to go back up, and then do the whole scheme once again. All right, this is all set up by the so-called white man. Traditional loans were routinely steered towards ruinous price subprime loans that would they never be able to repay, which I read that. Let me go down, Slakia. The link between race, subprime lending, and devastating rates of foreclosure have been crystal clear for some time. Researchers at Princeton have found, for example, the greater the degree of Hispanic and especially Black segregation a metropolitan area exhibits, the higher the number of rate of foreclosures it experiences. And it is not because, all right, you couldn't, you're not working, okay, or you just stopped paying. No, it's because these loans were set up for you to be able to pay for a certain time, and then, all right, because they know that there's so much economic distress placed upon certain people that you're not going to be able to. You're going to put all this money into the house, but you're not going to be able to pay it. And then what's going to happen? Whether it be for taxes, whether you miss a couple of payments on your mortgage, the bank will come and seize it, or you have a short sale, or you might have to sell the house, okay, or you might be upside down in the loan because there's no what they call, it's escaping me, equity in the house. Okay, the equity has dropped because the market is dropping. What you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans don't know anything about, housing. You just allow the so-called white man to steer you, into the wrong direction because he said that you have the house. Okay, so during this predatory lending, they'll fix up your credit score, so to speak. They'll lie and say you make this amount of money. This was all to get you into the housing. And what's happening is this is happening right now. This predatory lending. Okay, you have a lot of so-called Black Hispanics trying to buy housing, and they're getting duped into these deals. Okay, continuing on. All right, that same study found that these disparities are due in large part to the disproportionate chance that minority borrowers will receive subprime loans. So they receive par loans, meaning the bank or the lending institution is going to work with them because they don't have the necessary, I'll say, they don't qualify for the so-called necessary, traditional loans, which you did have a lot of Jakes that did qualify for the traditional loans, but they were steered into doing these subprime loans, which proves that this whole system is corrupt. And this was all concocted. Man, when you get into it, when you really look at it, what Esau's done, this was all concocted. This is a very sly and a scheme plan to destroy your communities, which over here, you know, the Lord, he has opened up our minds, all right, to see these things, see the so-called white man for who he is. Okay. This is 1 Corinthians 2:15. But the spiritual man judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. All right. And you so-called black man and Native Americans, you're not spiritual. You can't see that the so-called white man is spiritually and physically your enemy. You believe that he's a nice guy, you know, he's helping you get into this house, in which he's trying to destroy you. Let's bring out the scripture. Second Corinthians 2:11, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And this is part of his wicked devices, you know, is the subprime predatory lending. And you know, that's in the housing market, but how much more in these different, you know, payday loans, these different personal loans. All right, in the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, okay, interest rates are skyrocketing. It can be up to 200%. And that's wicked, okay, according to the scriptures. And this is let's bring out another scripture real quick. This is Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And which one of you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are lending to people? Okay. Well, if you lend, you might lend $100 to your friend. He ain't gonna pay you back. So you don't have any wealth. Okay. The little wealth that you do have is pretty much given back to the so-called white man. All right. You have a hole in your bag. You have a hole in your bank account. The rich ruleth over the poor. So who's the rich? All right, the so-called white man, particularly the so-called Jew. When really, when you go into it, he owns all these financial institutions that prey on you, you poor Israelites. All right, and the only thing that you have, the only thing that you can do to pay it back is what? To work more, to be more enslaved. Slavery. So you're still in slavery here in Babylon. Okay, and that should anger you. All right, the scriptures say that surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. So none of you so-called Black, Hispanic Americans, Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are angry. You're not mad. All right, those so-called white people over there in France, they're upset with the little taxes that the shit that's happening over there. You know, they're not able to buy homes. They're not able to send their kids to college. They keep getting taxed, and they're rioting. When are you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans going to rise up? Okay, and you let the so-called white man just step all over you. Okay, you're so comfortable being on the bottom. You're okay with this corrupt society. All right, we can still fix it. We just got to come together. We need more oversight in the government. We need to be more. We need to assimilate more into the society. We need to be more more responsible fathers, more responsible. No, all right. This whole system is corrupt. All right, and you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, you fall trapped. Okay, you fall in the snare of the so-called white man. Okay, you fall in the snare of his corrupt system. Okay, which he sets up privately. This is Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. Okay, you're robbed and spoiled. Okay, as a nation, everything has been taken away from you to the point to where you don't even know that you have things. You don't even know that you're rich. Okay, you don't even know that you are God's chosen people. All right, you're a prince of the power. You don't even know that. That's how much you have been. That's how many things have been taken away from you, I should say. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them. They are all of them snared in holes. Okay, what's that snare? The system, America. All right, there's no possible way that you can climb out of disparity, financial disparity. Okay, or even have some type of autonomy. Okay, there's always oversight. There's always a watchful eye. The so-called white man, he wants to know everything that you're doing. Okay, to the point he's going to put a chip in you. That's what his plan is. And a lot of you Israelites are going to line up to get the chip because you trust in a so-called white man. You trust in this bullshit ass system. Okay. You trust in going to McDonald's, ordering a Big Mac. You trust in going to the grocery store, buying pink slime. Okay. Eating his packaged food. Okay. Drinking out of plastic cups. Okay. Living in a 800 by 800 square foot, apartment. Okay. Where you got to pay rent to the so-called Jew or a goddamn gook. And he got everything. You don't got shit. All right. You're still in poverty. All right. So you're snared in holes. And they are hid in prison houses. All right. And the whole prison industrial complex, that was all set up too. Everything's a goddamn setup here in Babylon. Everything's a setup. The reason why you Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are in such disparity. And really, when you look into it, the Most High set your ass up. Okay. He sicked the so-called white man upon you. He allowed the so-called white man to concoct all these plans to put your ass in slavery without you even knowing that you're in slavery. Okay. So you can sit at the round table with him and debate about how things can get changed, which the whole time he's the one who set it up. Okay. They are for a prey. Okay. You are the prey. You're not the predator. Okay. And this is a dog-eat-dog world. Okay. Only the strong survive and none deliver. And you don't have anybody coming to your rescue. Not even your own people. See, this damn devil, okay, this damn devil right here, okay, get up. This damn devil, all right, which that's a Spanish flag, brother, por la raza, I believe. This damn devil right here, he's against you, your own people. You think he cares about you Israelites, okay? You poor Israelites. You think he care about the caravan coming up from Central America? He doesn't give a damn, okay? Nor does he give a damn about his own people. He'll sell you out. And a lot of you Israelites are like that. A lot of you wicked Israelites are like that. And the Most High is going to destroy you, okay? All right, because you're hand in hand with the so-called white man. The scriptures say, don't hand join in hand. The wicked shall not go unpunished. Okay, so the so-called white man is going to go unpunished. The so-called white man, I'm sorry, is going to be punished, and you're going to be punished right along with the devil, okay, your father. Okay, so let's go back to the scripture if I'm not already done. It says, and none deliver it for a spoil, and none saith restore. So you're set up to be pretty much a spoil. Who among you will give ear to this, and who will hearken and hear? For the time has come. Who gave Jacob for a spoil? So who did it? Yahweh Shema Shai. And Israel to the robbers. Who are the robbers? The so-called white man. The scriptures say the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's ultimately what the so-called white man has done. Or you have to go and look at your history. Look, why are you here? What is your purpose in life? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, you don't even present those questions to yourself. You don't even ask these questions to yourself. Why am I on the bottom and the so-called white man is on the top? Why can I not get out of my situation? Okay. And you think, oh, I need to work harder. No, America was not attained by working hard. It was attained by wicked acts, by stealing, by taking the land, by raping, by backhanded deals, by lying. That's how you get over in this world. That's why the so-called white man, he sets up this capitalistic society. Which the word capitalistic or capitalize means you have to capitalize off somebody. And who is he capitalizing off of? The poor, you Israelites. Okay, this is how he obtained all this wealth. This is how he keeps attaining wealth. And the wealth gap is increasing. Okay, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Okay. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. And you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are totally disobedient. Okay, we all sinned. We all sinned and fell short of the grace of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's why we're in this situation now. But now the Lord, he has his prophets out telling you, okay, the real deal, okay, the real deal, Holyfield. And what do? You reject the word. Okay. Therefore, he has poured upon him the fury of his anger. And part of the fury of the Lord's anger is you being a prey, okay, to the so-called white man, whether it be him shooting you down in the streets or him continue oppressing you by him being over you and you being the borrower, him being the lender. Okay, because that's financial oppression or peonage. Okay, you're a slave. Okay, and he has set him on fire round about, yet he knew not, and burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. So you Israelites don't lay it to heart, and ultimately you're destroyed. The scripture is going to go into it. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So you don't know. First of all, you don't know the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, which is supposed, which teaches, okay, the let's get it. Proverbs, first chapter. This is Proverbs 1, and I'll start at 3. To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. You see? So really this word is supposed to give you simple Israelites, which you Israelites are very simple and silly. It's supposed to give you knowledge and discretion. Discretion meaning discernment. Being able to discern things. And you can't discern your left hand from your right hand. You can't discern to put your foot, your right foot or your right shoe on your right foot. Okay? Meaning you're totally in confusion. You're in that dust-like state. And the so-called white man, he knows that he knows who you are, but he traps you up. Because why? My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So you rejected that knowledge, which is supposed to give subtlety to the simple. Okay. You rejected it. So the Lord, he rejected you. And this is why you fall part of these different predatory lending schemes. Okay. Why is the white wealth not falling? Why is the so-called Jew? Why is he getting richer? Why is the Chinese getting richer? Why are the Africans getting richer? Why are you so-called blacks getting poorer and poorer? Okay, you don't even ask yourself these questions. You're so occupied and committed adultery. You're so occupied selling drugs. You're so occupied of trying to be the next rap star or the next hoop star that you don't even know that the devil is deceiving you. I will also reject thee. So you are rejects of Yahweh Shai. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. That's why your children are all messed up. Okay, and we're supposed to be a kingdom of priests, kings and priests, which you Israelites don't act regal at all. You act lower. You act more base than the bases of man. The so-called white man, you act lower than the animals. Okay. Now let me see if I have any more scriptures. Yeah, this is Psalms 10. Psalms 10:7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. This is under the tongue of the so-called white man, which he speaks a smooth words. So let's get that scripture. He speaks smooth words. He's very, he can be very, opening. He can be very deceiving in the way that he speaks. He can be very, there's many words, escaping me, but ultimately he can be very, what's the word I want to use? If it comes to me, it comes to me, Slakia. But let's just go into the scripture. This is the scriptures say it better than me. It can be very smooth. Which let's look at this word smooth after we read the verse. This is Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And this is an act of war. Okay, everything that the so-called white man does, he weaponizes. Okay, and he weaponized lending. Okay, to prey. Okay, to prey upon you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, and to make wealth out of it and to destroy you. He gets a kick out of it. Which here in the article, it said that They steered, let's read it again. It says, studies, hold on. Says studies by consumer advocates found that large numbers of minority borrowers who were eligible for affordable traditional loans were routinely steered towards ruinous, which the word ruinously means to destroy you. Price subprime loans that they would never be able to repay. Okay, so that's the devil. That's the actual devil for you. Okay. I believe that was it on that. Let's read this again. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay, so everything that he says, everything he does is really with a hidden agenda. And you Israelites, you get caught up in that trap, in that snare. Okay, you have been preyed upon. I'm back in Psalms 10, verse 8. It says, he sitteth in lurking places of the villages. In the secret places does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. So you don't even know that his plan is to murder you. And he's doing that. He's murdering the innocent as we speak. All his policies, all his plans are set up really to trap you up. Okay, like the judicial system. There's nothing but Israelites in the judicial system. The scriptures say that he opened not the prison houses. Okay. He lieth and waits secretly as a lion in his den. Did not we read in Isaiah the 42nd chapter how you Israelites are the prey? So a lion, when you look at a lion and you consider a lion, what is a lion? Is a lion a prey, or is a lion a predator? So the so-called white man, he's the predator, which in turn the lesson is centered around predatory lending. Okay, and that's how he waits. He waits secretly. Okay, you don't even know that he's doing it. Okay, he can push the blame to somebody else. Oh, it's the corporation, or we need to revise things, or it was just a coincidence, or one person might be the fall guy. He lieth and wait to catch the poor. He does catch the poor, so he's able to fulfill he's able to accomplish his wicked devices upon you Israelites, because you have nobody to speak out for you. Which the beautiful thing about it is Yahweh Shema Shai, he's speaking for us. We don't need the so-called white man or none of you wicked ass Israelites to speak for our nation. Okay, we're going to speak for our nation. We're going to tell our nation who the devil is. Okay, and that's another reason why you should not be making any how does the scripture say? You should not be making any agreements. I got to find that scripture. He does catch the poor when he draws him into his net. So this whole system of America is a big, big net to draw you in and to destroy you. He croucheth and humbleth himself. See, the so-called white man, he looks unintimidating. Okay, he looks like he can't hurt a fly when really he's a mad scientist. He'll slit your throat, or and sleep on top of your dead body. He'll have sex on top of your dead body and wouldn't think twice about it. And then come outside with a suit and tie, okay, and smile in your face and say he has a black friend. That the poor may fall by his strong ones. He has said in his heart, the Most High forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it. Arise, O Yahweh, O power, lift up thy hand, forget not the humble. Wherefore does the wicked contend with the Most High? He has said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief as spite, to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art a helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of the land. Okay, so the Lord, he's the one who's looking at all these things, and he's seeing all these things, and he's angry. Okay, he's angry at the so-called white man because he's using our people as the prey. Okay, and he's the predator. And this is just one part of his wicked ass, demented, crooked ass society, how he preys on you Israelites. Okay, and you Israelites don't know anything because you are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You don't, first of all, you don't know who your power is. You don't know that you're supposed to serve Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, and then you don't even know who your enemy is. So you're walking, okay, outside, which we're behind enemy lines, by the way. Okay, you're walking in this society where the enemy is trying to destroy you at all turns of the road. Okay, and if you don't have discretion, okay, you don't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to know that, then you're going to get caught up in this society. Okay, which in the last lesson, you know, I brought out this scripture, and we'll end it. You know, the Lord's will end it on this scripture. Okay, that's why we're supposed to arise out of this society. Meaning, we're here transitory. We're here for a very short moment. Okay, we do what we have to do. We do the work of the Lord. If the Lord has called you to do this ministry, you do the work of the Lord. You use the word and not abuse it. And when you go into that word abuse it, when you go into the scripture, it says to overuse. So we don't overuse this world because you can get caught in the illusion of riches. You can get caught up in the society, okay? And you can be a casualty of war. And we see that with men. All right, they're casualties of Babylon. They're casualties of this system. It's a trap. And the Lord, he gives us this knowledge to what? To be able to maneuver through this web. Okay? Was there's a scripture? It's escaping me. I want to say, give me a second. I might not be able to find it, but you never know. Oh, you know what? That's that we read it. This is Proverbs 1:4. To give subtlety. Let me read up. Proverbs 1:1. The proverb of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple. So as Jake always says, this is a trap, right? Well, the Lord, he gives us wisdom to be able to maneuver through the trap, to be able to maneuver through the web. Okay, because at any given time behind enemy lines, okay, in America, you can fall, or you can fall on that trap. And when you consider a web or a spider, okay, a spider, they lay traps. Okay, whether it be a trapdoor spider, whether it be a spider that spins a web, whether it be a spider that blends in by camouflage. Okay, and then you have predatory spiders which lay in wait. Okay, and they pounce, or like the jumping spider, they'll pounce on their prey. Okay, but the prey is unaware. So as we are in Babylon, and we will liken Babylon unto a trap, unto a snare, which is the system or a web, the Lord, he gives us subtlety. Okay, he gives us subtlety, which means under the web. Okay, to be able to maneuver, which is that what? That oil. Because when you, like I said, when you consider a spider, the reason why the spider is able to maneuver through the web without getting caught up is because he has the oil. He has oil on his extremities. Okay, and he's able to maneuver through that web. So the Lord, he has given us this oil also to maneuver through the web of the society. Okay, to the simple, because if you're simple, we were all simple at one time. Okay, and this word quickens us, and it makes us of wise and quick understanding. To the young man, knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and it will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall obtain unto wise counsel. So this is wise counsel. Okay, this video and other videos that brothers speak to you about. Okay, and you're supposed to take the counsel of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, with the open heart. Okay, to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings, because really this word is really like a dark saying. Okay, the knowledge of Yahweh Shema Shai are really dark sayings, and this is why the spirit of the world, or I should say the truth, the world cannot accept the truth. Let me bring that scripture up. John 14 and 17, even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. So you're going to have a lot of people. Okay, let's speak about the world of Israel. Because I'm pretty sure if we go into this word, it's going to be cosmos, which, you know, I was correct. And that's just in the spirit. Okay, what we should know what the word cosmos means. It's pretty much talk about the nation of Israel, the world of Israel. Okay, so you have worlds with inside worlds. Okay, so even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. So 2/3 of our people cannot receive this truth. So they're going to be caught up in the web of the so-called white man. They're not going to be able to have that oil to be able to maneuver through the matrix. Whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, and he dwelleth in you, and shall be in you. So ultimately, the Lord, he dwells in us to give us this knowledge and wisdom and understanding, to know who our enemy is, to know who we need to serve, to know what's pleasing to Yahweh Shemashai, and to know the times and the seasons that we're in. Okay? And that this devil, through his predatory lending, proves to you that this whole system is corrupt, and that everything is targeted, okay, against you so-called minorities, okay, against you so-called illegals coming up, okay, you so-called blacks here in America, you Native Americans. You Native Americans are totally destroyed, okay, on the reservations. And was that by coincidence? No. First of all, you have to consider the works of Yahweh Shemashai and the curses that he has placed upon us. Okay, you have to consider those things, and then you consider that the Most High set the so-called white man up to implement all these things. Okay, these things are physically manifested by the system that the so-called white man has created. Okay, that targets, okay, you Jakes. Okay, so let's go to Micah. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. So this polluted and corrupt society, there's no possible way that you can find rest in this society, which you don't even know what rest is. You have been brought into a oppressive society. Your mother was oppressed, your father was oppressed, and then you woke up in an oppressed society. And then if the Lord opens up your mind, you realize years later, like, damn, I've been catching hell my whole life. Damn, the so-called white man is the devil. But what should that do? That should give you incentive to serve the Lord. Okay, because he has an out, okay, which so-called white man doesn't have an out. He wants you really to plug in more into the system. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And you see that. That's why our people are destroyed. Okay, why? Is because they are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They hold on to the American dream when there is no dream in this society. Okay, it's just nothing but the illusion of wealth, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes. That's all you see in the society. Okay, it's lust. And Esau, he wants you to totally be engulfed with the pursuit, okay, of pleasing your flesh. It's not even really the pursuit of happiness, because happiness really is being one with Yahweh Shemashai. That's happiness, because he's going to give you all the pleasure of your heart. Okay, but the illusion or the pursuit of happiness, according to the so-called white man, is really chasing after your flesh, which your flesh is nothing but corruption. It's gonna destroy you. So I'm not gonna go on any longer. I pray that you brothers will edify with this lesson. Guys like Deval Patrick, Jakes, and there's many Jakes like that, or Devil Patrick, which is his first name really means devil, deceiver. Okay, guys like that, the Most High is going to destroy, and that goes to show you that we can't come together all as a nation when you have those who are against our nation. You have those who are sellouts, okay, which they're going to be destroyed. So I pray that you brothers will edify once again with this lesson. I want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashem Al Shai, Bashem Rakakadash. Until next time, I want to say shalom.